The man accused of breaking Senator Rand Paul's ribs and bruising his lungs could now face felony charges. That's according to police in Bowling Green, Kentucky. For now, prosecutors have charged the senator's neighbor, Renee Boucher, with fourth-degree misdemeanor assault and let him out on $7,500 bond. Police say this neighbor, Boucher, tackled Senator Paul while he was cutting the grass outside his home on Friday afternoon. And the New York Times reports other neighbors say it may have started with some sort of landscaping dispute. But a friend tells the Times that the senator knows he doesn't know what the attack was about. The suspect's attorney said the two men had a trivial dispute that had absolutely nothing to do with politics. The Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said today that the fellow Kentucky senator is on the mend and expects him back on Capitol Hill next week. Now, the reason for all of the intrigue here is, A, they told different stories to get this thing started. B, they're not coming forward with everything about what happened. And C, you plant pumpkins in your yard, you got a 17-year dispute with the next-door neighbor who appears to have different politics with yours, and all of a sudden you're laid out on the ground with broken ribs, and then everybody kind of tells a story about it.
And D, the charges filed against the neighbor, who is himself a physician, the charges filed against the neighbor are the equivalent of a broken nose, not the equivalent of broken ribs.
Which they didn't know he had at the beginning.
Correct. And a pierced lung. So that is one of the reasons. That is one of the reasons that the feds are investigating, because of their perception that the state charges are woefully inadequate. Now, the state can increase the charges, but to give you an example of the penalty for the crime for which he's been charged, if he pleaded guilty or is found guilty, is 6 months in jail, but they wouldn't sentence you to jail. You wouldn't actually go unless you had a prior. The penalty for aggravated assault, breaking ribs, displacing
assault 2 in Kentucky.
Right, and injuring the lung is 5 to 10 years. So you're talking about a radically different level of prosecution. Now, if this was done for political reasons, meaning
that's different,
to keep the senator from getting to Washington to vote, then you got a federal prosecution, and then you're exposed to 20 years. I understand from one of the senator's aides that he was mowing the lawn, which he likes to do. He feels it's therapeutic, and he had the ear protectors on. The next thing he knew, he was writhing in pain on the ground. He didn't even know what happened. The next-door neighbor, the other doctor, tackled him from the back.
Now, as the story goes, and who even cares, but here's the backstory if you're interested. They've been having this dispute for years. Senator Rand Paul, as the story goes, as a libertarian might not, doesn't pay too much attention to the local community rules, wants to do things his own way, does his compost. They're all kind of rich over there, and everybody's like, ah. But there are gaps in the story that just make people who hear things like this go, what are you saying again? Why hasn't everybody come forward? I mean, as supposedly the senator's trying to downplay this, he's a little bit embarrassed about it all. You know what I wouldn't be if I were tackled after mowing my lawn in my yard and didn't know the assailant was coming? I wouldn't be embarrassed. I'd be mad as a wet hornet and ready to get something done here.
I didn't speak with him, but we texted. And with Rand Paul.
Oh, all right.
And he was angry, but he was in a lot of pain. So I didn't push I said, how you doing? He said, tell you what he said. I'm pissed and I'm miserable. I'm in a great deal of pain. So I sort of.
I didn't know you talked to him. Now, what did he say
we didn't
about?
Talk. It was
just
you
texted. Did he say anything about the particulars of this?
No. I spoke to one of his aides about the particulars, because when he said he was in so much pain, I didn't want to keep texting him.
Judge, you're mowing the yard, and the Yahoo from next door comes onto your property after you've gotten off your John Deere or whatever it is. You still got your earmuffs on. And lays you out in your own yard and cracks 5 of your ribs?
Yeah.
Come on. That sounds really kind of extreme for a yard mowing enterprise.
Very extreme for a dispute over compost.
That's why I wonder, you tell me there wasn't something else there?
If there is, I don't know what it is.
I don't know how I could get that mad about the dang yard.
I don't know the mental stability of this doctor. His lawyer claims he's mentally stable, but this was a tremendous amount of force for a minor dispute. Tremendous amount of violence.
There's more there. I bet we find it out.
We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll see. Ask him next time.
All right.
Ask him what they put him on.
Well, he was having trouble breathing. I didn't want to keep him on the
I get it.
answering.
America got questions.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.